Third period, Copland, touched by serialism, but also in Music for a Great City, which was actually written for not New York, but London. A little bit of a subway jam, which Doug Michael always thought was like "We Be Jammin'," but no, it's a traffic tie-up down below, and I suppose it should be the tube, should it not? But another continuity with railroad music. And, we forgot to mention a really great railroad piece by Heitor Villa-Lobos, The Little Train of the Brazilian Countryman. Fantastic piece. And from his Bachianos Brasileiros, there's also the divine aria for a solo soprano and 8 cellos, sometimes like a giant pizzicato guitar. Many of our concert composers, shall we say, dabbled in film music, but many composers are film specialists, including the whole dynasty of composers, the Newman family, Alfred Newman in How the West Was Won, Acacia, the chase music, right? Stampede of Buffalo, and when the buffalo arrive, no music, the power of music and the power of sound effects.
The Indians are stampeding the buffalo. Dirty skunks. Come on!
What a difference a continent makes. Copland with his 3 periods in America. Kurt Weill, once again, Gotta Be a Refugee. Once again, though, in style, coming to New York, but before that, 2 of his 3 periods. First one touched by Schoenberg, rather avant-garde. Second one, he meets up with Bertolt Brecht, the playwright, and has an astounding success with the Threepenny Opera, which is based on the same old story as The Beggar's Opera, the John Gay, John Peppish, John Rich work that put Handel out of the opera business. And we'll hear 3 excerpts. Oh, the shark has pretty teeth, which could be so-te-do, could be minor, but there are major chords underneath, so it's actually mi-so-la-la. Once again, that harmonic ambiguity with chords of the added 6th underneath. Became a pop hit with many of the crooners who we'll get to. Directly following that, the only quote from Beggar's Opera. It was originally Through All the Employments of Life, and now here, Peacham's Morning Song. When the Threepenny Opera opened, the audience was subdued, but when they got to the cannon song, the Song of the Heavy Cannon, anti-war, and we're talking 1928, Weimar, Germany, the crowd burst out in applause, and Weill, very famous man from that point.
Oh, the shark has pretty teeth, dear, and he shows them pearly white. Just a jackknife has Macheath, dear, and he keeps it out of sight. Just a jackknife has Macheath, dear, and he keeps it.
Look, there goes Mac, the knife.
Out of sight. Wake up, all you godless, wake up. Johnny is missing, Jimmy is dead,
and George went crazy shooting.
but blood is blood, and red is red, and the army is still recruiting. Let's all go Army, live on the army, see the world we never saw. bits because we like our hamburgers raw.
Weill's third period was a crossover Broadway success. And in some ways, Louis Armstrong has that crossover success too. He starts as a Dixieland trad jazz New Orleans style player and probably the most influential early jazz performer. The second trumpet in King Oliver's band takes off on his own. Legendary, amazing trumpeter. Also his voice, very characteristic. It was said that he dropped his sheet music at one point and couldn't remember the words, and so he just started singing stuff, scat. Beginning of scat singing, and you'll hear this in the seminal West End Blues. This is not one of his earliest recordings, but maybe his most influential. 12-bar blues. The opening, the introduction, then the first chorus with kind of a mellow version of the New Orleans ensemble with the clarinet. Just a little trombone glissandi, the spoons going at it. We've got very low clarinet call and response with Louis' scat, and then his final, very influential solo where he holds just one note over for the bars, then falling off in swing rhythms, and then nothing. Just let the last 4 bars go with the piano. Little bit kind of backwards forwards here in that Louis Armstrong makes his biggest impact as a very young man, and we've already heard much later music from Duke Ellington. His most important work is, I guess, from his 40s. After that, Jester Hairston, his arrangement of a traditional spiritual, which is classic pentatonic blues. Do, 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 me, fa, so, do, 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 me, fa, me, do, te. Te, only below, as in do, me, fa, so, te, do. And following that, Amen, which is one of his original compositions in an arrangement by a group called the Winstons. A little break section of drums was much later sampled by numerous rap people, and it comes down to us as the Amen break, with the most sampled 4 bars of drums. Jester Hairston was a noted actor as well, and he lived to 98. Unbelievable. And this brings us to another Austrian Jewish immigrant who left much earlier than those dangerous 30s, in the 20s, and this would be Frederick Loewe. And he makes his claim to fame with Broadway musicals, notably My Fair Lady and Camelot. My Fair Lady including The Rain in Spain. The Rain in Spain falls mainly in the plain. It's a habanera, and typically of not only operas but musicals, including dance music, the ballet. And Camelot was so topical that it came to be connected with the Kennedy administration in 1960.
Now once again, where does it rain?
On the plain, on the plain.
And where's that blasted plain?
In Spain, in Spain.
The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain. The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain. Hickory, hickory. Ole, ole. Oh, oh, oh. Ole! Da-da-da-dum, da-da-da-dum. Da-dum. Hey-yum. Da-dum, da-dum. Da-dum. Hey, hickory. Da-da-dum. Oh, hey! Oh, ah!
It's true. It's true. The Crown has made it clear. The climate must be perfect
For the year.
A law was made a distant moon ago here. July and August cannot be too hot. And there's a legal limit to the snow here in Camelot.
An inscription given to me by a Japanese calligrapher has hung on my studio walls in recent years. And it says, "Though homeless, you make a shrine wherever you are." At the moment, my shrine happens to be in Chicago. And if it is a shrine, it becomes one only through the musical instruments that I have around me. These are unusual in size, shape, and philosophic purpose. They are a musical necessity because I am essentially not an instrument builder, but a composer. I am a philosophic music man who, long ago, was seduced into musical carpentry.